What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for Ready to Love Season 7, Episode 5, The Math Ain't Mathin'. So before we go ahead and get into this review, guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into Ready to Love, shall we? So with Ready to Love, we pick up where we left off last week with the elimination. So in the bottom were Marcia, Corvea, and Jeffrey. So in this episode, they did not use this to save, which I think that was very smart not to use it. So they ultimately decided that Corvea is just not ready to love. So Tommy tells them, all right now, so now it is time for an after party. So you're going to get off at the marina and you're going to go to the Hard Rock Cafe and have a good time. So ladies, yes, that's right, ladies. This week, the decision is yours. So by the end of the week, I will meet you in the ladies' lounge and we will discuss which one of these gentlemen is just not ready to love. You guys, I love doing Nephew Tommy. I love it. It's so fun, right? So we see everybody as they get back to the marina, to the marina, and they go to the Hard Rock Cafe, right? So Mark Anthony, I can't quite put my finger on Mark Anthony, right? Because I don't know if it's attentiveness or if it's a little bit of, and I turn my, oh my God, I turned my brightness down. With Mark Anthony, I don't know if it is attentiveness or if it's a little bit of manipulation, so to speak, right? Like, I'm trying to figure out what it is with Mark Anthony, but I haven't figured it out. Because he was talking, I think it was him, Pick Me Susu, and Marcia with Blake at the table, right? Or I know it was Pick Me Susu and Marcia sitting there, right? So he was asking, or it might have been, no, it was another woman at the table. I forgot which woman it was, but it was another woman at the table, and he was like, do you have any siblings, right? He's like, oh, no, you got 6 older brothers, right? And, sorry, you guys, I'm messing with the light. So you got 6 older brothers, and you have a little bit of Claire Huxtable mixed with Rihanna, talking about Pick Me Susu. I was like, what we won't do is disrespect Riri or Claire Huxtable by saying she got a mix of them, because neither one of them are pick-me's, right? So Pick Me Susu, we see Pick Me Susu, and she got pulled to the side by Jeffrey, and she's telling Blake about her conversation with Jeffrey. Now, I don't know if Pick Me Susu forgot what the conversation was, because Pick Me Susu is basically saying that when Jeffrey came over to where she and DeMario were, that it felt like, she was sitting at Thanksgiving dinner at the adults table, and somebody from the kids table came over and talked to her. Pick Me Susu, I'm gonna leave you alone for right now. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So if I did leave anything out with I know they eventually went and they went and danced. I know Marcia was talking about how she channels her Beyonce when she on a treadmill, and Beyonce would go another 15 minutes. It was a bunch of nothing. So we see our first date, you guys. So Cynthia, man, Cynthia is gorgeous. She's fine as hell. Every time I see Cynthia, I'm like, God, Cynthia, right? So Cynthia is going out on a date with Anthony. And this is like the first time that we're really seeing Anthony. And from what I can see of Anthony, I do like Anthony. I think Anthony might be a genuine guy. When Anthony showed up, Cynthia was all smiles. And I liked it, right? I liked it. They talked about what they're both looking for. He is looking for, he says, And I hope he's a man. I hope he's, he's looking for to settle down. He wants to have a little Anthony running around. And, Cynthia was talking about how she's a tomboy. And he was like, so you have older brothers? She's like, no. She only has one brother and she has older sisters. And she's closer to one of her sisters. She was talking about the fact that her sister just got married and, she caught the bouquet. So he said, oh, so you up next? She said, yeah. So then we got Jeffrey. So Jeffrey, she went on a date with DeMario. And you guys remember in last week's episode, DeMario was in his feelings because Jeffrey kissed, what was his name? Mark Anthony, right? So Jeffrey told DeMario that, he's been her top. But at the boat party, he was a little, recluse. And she didn't get to spend any time with him, right? So then, why did she say that? Because that segued for him to bring up her kissing, Mark Anthony. So she said to him, well, I had previously went out on a date with Mark Anthony before the boat party. And even at the boat party, I didn't really, get to see you to even spend any time with you, right? So she was like, so what did it look like you not even paying me no attention and I'm gonna come and kiss you? So then DeMario lost me because DeMario says, well, how would your kids feel about you kissing a man? Sir, excuse you, her kids? Okay. Her kids. Then in his interview, he wants to talk about the fact that he has not saw her without any makeup. She does not know how to take criticism. And she don't know that man. It's given insecure little boy. DeMario, grow up. This is called Ready to Love, right? This is a heightened group date. This is speed dating on steroids. Shut up. Let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So we get this group date with Jeffrey, Marcia, Blue, and Blake. I was like, wow, this is an odd pairing. Jeffrey and Blake don't see it for each other, right? Blue put Marcia in the homie department, but Marcia don't know that, right? First of all, this date was boring. That's number one. This date gave me kindergarten, right? Because they were doing the sound baths, and I've never done that. I would actually kind of like to do a sound bath. But I've never done one. So they did that. Sorry, you guys. The little thing just fell off my lap. They did the sound bath. It was boring. Then after they did the sound bath, they did arts and crafts, or they had a little magazine. They cut it up. It kind of gave a vision board. I was bored. I was thoroughly bored with this date because I was like, don't nobody here really have a connection with each other now. I guess Jeffrey found a semi-new connection in Blue, but Marcia wants to get to know Blue a little bit more. I'm like, girl, that man has already friend zoned you. Little do you know, you've been put in the homie zone. Beautiful girl. I like Marcia. Only thing with Marcia is the hair. The cowardly lion hair. It's just like when Marcia was landing on that mat, that hair was just drowning her. It was just drowning her face out. I just want Marcia just to lose a few bundles. Just lose a few. Just lose a few bundles, Marcia. A few, please and thank you. Less is more. Less is more. Let's pause here and move forward. Next up, you guys, we got a date with Morgan and Tony. What more do I need to say about Tony? I've said it over and over and over and over and over again, and I'm actually really at this point tired of repeating it. But Tony proves what I say every week, that he is someone, he's with this process, he is someone that shapeshifts, that molds himself into what he thinks the women want, right? because I got absolutely nothing. I don't see a connection. So I even tweeted this last night. I don't see a connection with any of these people, right? The only connection that these people have are the connection to the clothes that they are wearing, right? That is the only connection that they have. Now I actually scratched that. I take that back. I see one I see one connection, but I don't know how much they're going to focus on it. Which is, what's her name again? Cynthia and Anthony. So Tony is a smooth talker. That's literally all he is a smooth talker. And he's full of crap. So Tony had me so confused, right? Because at one point in the episode, when he was on this date, he was in his interview, he was talking about the fact that that Jonique has creeped up in his top. I was like, when? Because on the boat, when Jonique started crying in last week's episode, you didn't consult, you didn't give her a tissue, you didn't, get up and give her a hug. You said, dang, you gonna make a brother cry. How does that help her? How does that help her out? But okay. So we see Jonique. So Jonique is on a date with none other than Blake. Blake is not interested in any of these women. Let's just keep it a buck. Blake has no interest in these women. He's very uninterested, disinterested, whatever you want to say. He has no interest in these women. And so I do believe, what's her name again? Jeffrey. I do believe Jeffrey and I don't know how much I believe about her being his pick and he hated telling these women things. That part I do believe. That part I believe he hates talking to these women. I do believe that much. He does not like talking to these women. Even you, pick me, Susu. How did y'all cast him? So Jonique asked him, how has the process been for him? He said, well, that was a pretty general question, so I'm going to give you a general answer. So, I would have been like, you know what? You don't even have to give me a general answer. I'm out. Because that was kind of a rude response. So then she asked him what he does for a living. I wasn't listening, so I don't care what he does for a living. So then he asked her, what does she do for, in her spare time, right? Basically, she's just a turn-up girl, and I'm here for it, you guys. I'm here for the turn-up girl. So let's pause here and wrap up the episode. So we get to the ladies' lounge, and, Tommy's talking to the ladies, asking them, so who are you feeling? And let me know, who you feeling? So Pick Me Susu, she's feeling Blake and Anthony. Mercedes, she's feeling Mark, Anthony, and Anthony. Jeffrey is feeling Mark Anthony. And I don't know if they ever went around to other ladies, but then we talk about who the ladies are not feeling. So the names that came up a lot were Demario and Blake, right? So then Jeffrey told them about her date that she had with Demario, how he brought up her kids, and Pick Me Susu gotta chime in. I was like, oh my God, ladies, shut up. Like, you talking about Jeffrey is obsessed with, we talking about you and all that kind of stuff. You bring her, you always have to chime in. She calls her advocate, Sue. Nah, let's call her what she is. Pick Me Susu. She ain't no advocate, she's a pick me. She's a pick me, like Pick Me Susu just gets on my nerves, and I'm really ready for Pick Me Susu to go home, right? So we get to the eliminates, and it is Jonique and Jonique was on a date with, it's Jonique and Cynthia. So Jonique is with Demario, and Cynthia is with Blake. Blake thought he actually had a date with Cynthia. I was like, huh? You really believe that you want a date with Cynthia? Okay. So in the end, Jonique told Demario he is just not ready to love. I was like, I agree. But can this be a double elimination and send Blake home too? Ready to love, and Will Packard told me no. I was like, oh, okay. But Blake is not ready to love either. That is obvious. That is very obvious. I don't know what kind of advice y'all can give to Blake. Blake is for ratings. Blake is for ratings. Because I even have to tweet this. I'm like, does Blake even like women? No shade to him, but does he like women? Because it's just given, or maybe this is just not his caliber of women that he would like. That's really what it's giving. Maybe it's just not his caliber of women. I don't know. But I'm ready for Blake to go home. I was happy that DeMario went home, but I really want Blake to go home as well. Can we send Blake, DeMario, and Tony home? Well, DeMario's gone. Can we send Tony and Blake home? In no particular order. Actually, can we do a double elimination? Can we do a double elimination? Wow. When I think about this season and the men, so we got Tony left, Blake left, Mark Anthony, Lyndon. Who else is left? Because I only got 5 men. Oh, Blue. I don't really think nobody's feeling Blue. No shade to you, Blue, but I don't think nobody's feeling you. So I got 6 men. And only like 1.5. Because I still don't know how I feel about Mark Anthony, you guys. But that's the review. Get down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.